just saw the Baltimore Ravens blow the Buffalo Bills out, and the Ravens have been a hot and cold team to start the year. I mean, and in the beginning of the season, they weren't looking to. I mean, they did play some good teams, but you also did lose to the Raiders, so that's a bad mark on your resume. But for 2024, but I mean, they've also smoked the Bills. It's weird how the NFL works, doesn't it? But the Bills or the Bengals haven't really looked good themselves, and they have played a couple good teams like the Chiefs, but they even struggled versus bad teams and kind of let bad teams stay in the sticking games with them. This is absolutely a Bengals move to go and win this game after the Ravens just beat the Bills and just smoked the Bills. This is totally a Bengals thing to do in the beginning of the season. Start bad, start playing good. You barely beat a bad team, and then you go ahead and then you beat the Ravens. I can see it happening, but looking at it at a matchup standpoint and just, strictly off of that, I think the Ravens got it in the bag, man. I mean, Joe Burrow is awesome. We all know that. We all know that he has great weapons, but their defense has not looked good. They just played the Panthers, so I'm not gonna I'm not gonna take the day they had away for versus the Panthers. It wasn't great, but it was much better than it has been. I mean, but now you're going up against a whole different animal once again. You're going up against Lamar, Derrick Henry, who has looked great. I think this Bengals defense and this Bengals team will, get better as the year goes on. And I think after this game, they go on a nice little winning streak. But this is the bump in the road. This is another quick bump in the road, and it's going to be a tough loss versus the Ravens, man. I mean, you can't just look at what they did last week versus the Bills and ignore it. No, the Bills were looking like the best team in football, right up until last week, and you gotta give credit to the Ravens. They smoked the Bills. So I'm taking the Ravens in this one, man. I don't have too much confidence in the Bengals team to play clean enough football, to not be sloppy enough. I don't know if Joe Burrow's going to get enough time. I'm worried about the offense is consistent. This whole Bengals team isn't consistent. So, they've worried me. Even versus the Panthers, I thought they should have done a better job. I thought they should have done much better in that game versus the Panthers itself. And now you're going up against the Ravens, man. And we'll see. The Ravens lost to the Raiders earlier this year, and the Raiders aren't a good football team. But the Ravens have, they're hot and cold as well, man. So we're gonna see. But I'm taking the Ravens. I'm pretty confident in the Ravens. But I could totally see this game being one of those games where the Bengals just pull the Bengals and beat a team that they shouldn't at this point in the season.